Uh, Welcome to The Rise. You may start by stating your name and where you're from.
I'm good. I am Mayss. My name is Mayss. I am originally from Syria. I came here to Finland in 2017, January.
2017?
Yes.
Okay. January. From Syria?
From Syria, from Damascus,
Okay.
the capital.
Oh, the capital of Syria is
Syria,
Damascus.
Damascus,
Okay,
yes.
okay. Can you tell us a bit about your story back home, like in Syria and everything?
Yes, I lived all my life in Syria. Like I came here when I was 31st, like 31 years old.
31,
But I lived all my life in Damascus, in Syria, with my family. We have a very big family from mom's side and dad's side. We have really like a lot of aunts, a lot of uncles, cousins, and so I lived all my life there. I studied there. I grew up there. I worked there, and then. In 2011, the war in Syria started.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, Syria before the war,
Yeah.
was it like just normal, like country, like normal?
It was an amazing country, actually. I really loved it. I really loved being there. I always say this for people who don't know. I am a Christian living in Syria.
Yes.
We are 7% of so we are a minority, basically.
Yes, yeah.
It's a Muslim country, but we are 7%. But I never felt discriminated. I never felt that there is anything that bothers me being there. I lived my life freely. I didn't have, that's the same normal question they asked me. I didn't have to wear burqa or hijab or anything. I used to look like this.
Are you serious? Because that is in our mentality. We always think like you guys, even when you're young, you have to wear the hijab and everything everywhere.
No, that's actually a religious thing for Muslims,
Yeah.
and some people do it, some people don't. But for Christians, I lived all my life,
How will they know? How will they know you're a Christian and you're maybe when they were not doing the one that they can force you on the street? Is it like?
No, we have our, I always say that I used to wear bikinis, going to pools, going to beaches. We wear shorts, skirts, crop tops,
Wow.
everything.
I didn't know about that. I thought like if it's a Muslim, yes, it's a Muslim country, but you are a Christian. I thought like everybody had to do.
No,
Okay,
on the
okay.
contrary,
That's nice
actually.
to know.
Even in our holidays, for example, Christmas, Easter, even the government will stop the streets for us to do our parades, our marches, to do our own celebrations, and in holidays, in Christian holidays.
Yeah.
I never felt like there is a difference. I actually never asked even my friends what religion they are, like who do they believe in, or what Christian or Muslim. We never ask even. So Syria is completely the opposite of what actually the media knows or the Western world knows. But I understand also, because people abroad, if they don't know any locals,
Yeah,
they
it's
wouldn't
true.
get like the juicy things. They will get only what the media is streaming on TV, which is like sad a little bit, actually.
Even scary sometimes. You feel like it's scary, like
Yeah,
they're showing
of
it
course.
like
You are labeled also. When you are a Middle Eastern, wherever you go, you are a bit labeled, like conservative. I don't know, they have really anger management, terrorism, they have a lot of wars going on. But this is not who we are. That's what I always try to tell people. Like Syria before that time, it was just like Finland, like any normal country. We go out, we eat, we go do this, we do that, we have friends, we have families. Everything was just peaceful and normal.
So before 2011, you're saying everything was just normal.
Yeah.
If I take you a bit before the war, did you guys felt like before the war started? Did you feel, was it like a jokingly? Sometimes people can say like a war can start. You think like nothing is not going to happen. How where were you and when this thing all started?
Of course, we never thought of that. Like it didn't even cross our minds. Of course, we study about the ancient wars in the history and classes and stuff, but you never think that you will witness like one yourself. That didn't even cross our mind, especially like in the last between 2000 and 2010, Syria was going really high up, even with technology, even with everything is getting automated, computers are, we started to get a little bit of more technology development. We started to feel that salaries are getting better, lifestyle is getting better, like everything is gradually becoming like a better life. But then in 2011, everything was taken back like 50, 60 years ago. you know, like with all the war, destruction and everything.
Can you put me in that situation when it started? Like, I want now to feel it from you. Like,
Yeah.
from you. Like, is there any incident like you felt like, okay, you saw, like, now even you remember after the war started while you're there? Sorry. Like, is there anything like you can tell me, like, okay, I was seated like this and then I saw this and this, then it made me, is there anything that made you even scared, like you can even remember about it?
Many. I lived there during the wartime, the actual bombing and shelling, 6 years. So 6 years of my life, I've seen a lot, like a lot of blood, a lot of explosions. I was about to die 8-9 times myself. I passed from an area, 1 minute later, a big like mortar or rocket falls just behind me or just next to me in the building. I remember, like the worst thing I remember is that we were sleeping in our apartment. We live in the 4th floor. And our area was really on the border with ISIS. It's only one street, like to cross, and then you become on the dangerous zone. So we were like really frontliners, I would say. We were sleeping, me and my parents. I only have one brother who is actually living here in Finland. So during wartime, I was only with my parents. We were sleeping, and I just, you know, woke up on an explosion, and I saw smoke from my window, and I thought like the mortar has landed in my parents' bedroom. It was that close because we are very close buildings. So, but actually, luckily, I don't know if I can say luckily. Yeah, we were lucky at that time, unfortunately for our neighbors, but we were lucky that time that it didn't actually land in our building. It was just the next one. But that was the scariest moment for me. I didn't even dare to go check what's happening, you know, and you were still sleeping, like you don't really understand what's going on, like you just woke up with a very, very strong sound, and then you see this like fire and smoke, and you don't really dare to go check on your parents. Same, I think it was the same with them, because it took us few minutes to go out of the doors to check on each other. I had so many incidents, even with the going to work was really an obstacle. If I want to see my friends in the evening, we used to call each other like, by the way, the news said that there are a lot of shelling in that area, please go from the other side, let's meet on the other road. So yeah, we had a lot like of these, and a lot of course, unfortunately, you see a lot of dead people, a lot of...
So you have friends that you knew, family members that you knew that they were shelled, like...
Yeah, definitely, of course, a lot, like we lost a lot.
That's why I feel like sometimes we have to appreciate where we are now, other people. We stop complaining, because somebody like you, what you've seen,
yeah, of course.
And then somebody thinks like you're playing with life like this. Every time you used to go to sleep, you didn't know like if you are going to wake up.
Exactly, yeah, definitely. Not going to sleep, if you leave home even. Like if you say goodbye to your mom, I'm going to see my friends, I'm not sure if I will come back and see her again. It was really, really hard time that nobody knows about, because nobody lived it, and hopefully nobody will. But yeah, it was a very tough time, very, very tough time.
Just coming from a country that was so peaceful, all of a sudden it has changed.
And you know, we were in our 20s, like it's the time that you know, we finished like college, and we are really like trying to start our career, our life, getting our dreams, like, you know, but then everything just goes down, and you have to live without water, without electricity, without fuel, without anything to heat yourself.
Food. How did you, in a war country like the way there was war in Syria? Tell me, like, how do you get like food? Do you still go to the shops like normal?
Yes, we go to the shops.
You still go to shops?
We have a certain culture also, like moms, they like to store things when there is a seasonal vegetable. Like we have a seasonal like types of vegetables that they don't grow, for example, in winter or in summer. So when they are available, they store a lot like of them in the freezers. Most of people have survived that way with like what they have already in their fridges. Of course, the shops, they are still open. People are still getting food. Not everything is available. Not all the people have the money to buy it, you know. But yeah, it was challenging because there are so many products that we couldn't find anymore. And sometimes, like, you know, even you don't have the appetite, you know, to eat.
Yes,
like
I'm just putting myself in your situation, and I'm like, me, I don't know if I think I can even die even before anything happens to me.
It was really, really tough. And you know, like we sit inside, we don't have anything to heat ourselves in winter, so we had like so many blankets on top, hats, gloves, as if we are outside, but we are actually
inside.
We are actually inside. Some people, they from the shelling, the glass breaks, so they can't fix it, so they live with open open windows.
Winter, how low can it go, the temperatures in winter?
It can go like, I think maximum is -2, -3.
But still that one is, that one even is still, even sometimes it's +10 here and I'm feeling cold. So I'm imagining you guys minus.
And the problem is our buildings, because we built with cement, and cement actually stores like all the temperature. So our houses inside are really cold. Like if you don't have a heating system, you can't like manage winter without a heating system. So it's different. Like here you can have half sleeve, you know, like you can be just normal here because it's really like warm inside. But there it's not the same. Like we don't have this, like, how can I say, the type of building is just cement, but it's not like really isolating
with isolation. I understand.
You know, for heat or cold or. So it's really cold inside. I have still pictures sometimes when I go through my heart. I still have pictures of me and mom and dad, like with so many layers. Of course, now I laugh.
So it became normal, like.
Yeah. You adapt. It's weird.
When the war started, you stayed still there for over 6 years.
Yeah. Actually, I left Finland when the danger zone, like danger period, has ended. Yeah, and you know, everything got shut in our faces. Like we all wanted to leave. We all wanted to find a safer place, but no visas, no borders were open. We were sanctioned from all Europe, USA, UK. So I mean, like we were sanctioned. We couldn't even do anything.
So I'm imagining somebody like you don't even have. You are just 20s, like you are going to have fun and everything. Now even the countries have closed. They don't want you guys to go out. You think like, where do
you're
they
trapped.
want you guys?
You are trapped, and nobody cares if you're alive or not. Like nobody's helping you to get out. And unfortunately, this is where the illegal traveling started, and this by the sea and by the ocean, and people dying, drowning as well.
Syria is surrounded with which country, if you can remind me?
Lebanon, Turkey. Turkey from the north. Lebanon, Israel, of course, Palestine.
Okay. So the other time that there's a time I was on TV and I saw like they talked about sometimes they were even they were dropping some poisonous
phosphorus bombs.
According to you, what the way you had, like, what do you know that place where they did that thing and everything?
I know that place, but it's not actually in Damascus. Like it was a little bit like further, so we didn't experience that ourselves. Like I think with all the crisis, the war that has happened, Damascus still was the safest place, but still we had a lot of destruction. But the more north you go, it's like the destruction is even worse. The bombing was worse. Like people, and also everybody fled.
The shelling was from where? From the ISIS? Or from
yes, it was from the north area, from Turkey a little bit. Most of it, I would say, from that side, because they had their own, like, you know, their own bases, or so it was more from that area. But you actually don't know you don't really know where it is coming from.
I can imagine you waking up in the morning, you're saying bye-bye, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, because as I told you, we are also in Damascus, not so far away from where ISIS has built their own tunnels, where they were shelling to the city, bombing the city during the night. A lot of kidnapping has happened. My own cousin has been kidnapped, and we had to wait I don't know how long, and to pay a lot of money for the kidnappers to get him back.
So if they kidnap like that, so you guys have to, they start saying they want money.
Yeah, it's two options. It's either like they kill you immediately, or they ask for money.
Oh my God.
So there are no other, like, no other solution. Luckily, again, my cousin we could actually make him escape, and we paid like the money they asked for. But it was such like a horrifying week as well, or I don't know, 10 days maybe that we didn't.
Did she explain to you guys what she went through when she was taken?
Yeah, well, a little bit. I think it was a man, like a he. So he didn't want to go through the details, but yeah, he was beaten up. He was like trying to be tortured. But when they knew that we are willing to pay, they a bit easier on him. Yeah. But those people were not like those who kidnapped them. They were not actually the military, like ISIS or anything. They were
people who take advantage of something like that when it
exactly.
happens.
People who would like to get a little bit more money, and they know that it's chaos. No law is no law is enforced now. Nobody's like the government is really busy with a lot of bigger like issues, so they can't focus now on these things. So luckily that was the case. But I knew so many people who have been actually kidnapped by the militias or ISIS, and they never came back, or they came in pieces.
Where did you learn your English from? Because it's so good.
That's also that's also another question. In Syria.
Because your English is so good. Somebody might think, no.
Yeah, actually, that's the first question when I came. When I came to Finland, everybody asked me the two questions.
Yes.
If I had to wear burqas, and now I am like a free woman, or and where did I learn my English? Actually, I graduated as an English literature.
Wow.
From the college.
From the college, yes.
Our education system in Syria is really tough.
Yes.
And we get really well educated, and we are very like into education as a nation. I studied in a private school since I was a kid, so it's a Christian, like for nuns school.
For nuns, yes,
and I studied all my life French. Until high school, I was learning French at school. But from 9th grade to high school, I was enrolled, like my parents saw that English is more prevailing now. It's more like, important than French. So they enrolled me in private schools, or institutions to learn English. And then in my high school, I loved English so much, and I decided to go to the English literature to explore it more.
Wow.
Yes.
So there is where you started learning English nicely and everything.
Yeah.
So you speak even French a bit. You can understand.
Now, yes. Unfortunately, I haven't used it for a long time. But yes, if you put me in a French atmosphere, I'm sure it will come up again.
Yeah, because even if you're talking English, I can never say you're coming from Syria or any
the
Arab sides. The accent is nice. Me before I thought you're just from maybe from Spain or yes.
Everybody comes to me also. Funny when I travel somewhere else, outside Finland, and I go to a restaurant, immediately they come and speak to me. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I'm I wish I knew. I wish I knew how to speak, but no.
And the first time when I saw you, the time of salsa dance, when you were doing the salsa.
Yeah.
You see now it goes somebody may think you're from Spain now.
Exactly.
Latina. You're a Latina. Yeah.
But even I learned salsa in Syria.
In Syria.
Yeah, and I had competitions.
Now you're making me understand now we should not be following what news says.
No, definitely not. I learned in Syria. I had my own school in Syria. We went to competitions. We went to festivals. We had seriously a great life.
How did you come to be in love with dancing? How did it start?
Oh my God! When I was little, I used to belly dance because this is our traditional dancing. Yeah. So I think art is part of me and my brother since we were little. Yes. He liked to sing and play piano. I like to dance. Wow. So I don't know. It's something I like dancing so much. But then the idea of salsa was brought to us by the Russian. There was Russian institution or a center, Russian center. They used to teach ballroom, those tango, foxtrot, all these ballroom dances. And I started with that actually because I just wanted to explore. But then I don't know. One of them has been abroad. They learned some salsa steps. They came in and they said, why not? Let's start teaching Syrians some salsa. And I fell in love from that moment. Yeah.
So from that time, now you started so they were just teaching you guys, or you started, you learned and then you became You started teaching other
yeah,
people.
but I learned for like few years, and but during those few years I had like my dance partner. We used to practice a lot, YouTube, learning from YouTube, learning extra stuff, preparing shows when we have like annual celebrations for the school. We prepare shows, and so we worked on ourselves also even more through YouTube, like how to be better dancers. And we went to festivals, like Lebanon had a yearly festival for 4 or 5 days. They brought all the international artists to teach like Lebanese people and Syrians. So we used to go to Lebanon every year to learn from international artists as well. It was a lifestyle for me. Like all my friends in my adulthood, all my friends came from that activity. It was like really that shaped my... And we kept dancing during war. Yeah, we were dancing inside and we are hearing the bombing outside, but we still kept it going. So yeah, I learned
that is the
everything
thing that I
in Syria.
always want to, I don't want to say experience, but I really want to feel like, if like here, and then they're shelling, like, how do you guys like, do you have, like, do you guys continue if your kids, like they continue playing
like
and
normal.
like it's normal?
In the beginning, of course, everybody was scared. We can't lie. Of course, something new to everybody, but when it gets like 10 years, 6 years, well, you get used to
So when it started, did you think, this one is not going to stay that more long? Maybe
yeah,
it's
of
going
course.
to-
Of course, we
everybody
thought,
feels like
it's
that.
just like, it's
Yes,
okay.
no.
Especially it started gradually. It didn't like started, powerful from the beginning. It started with a little bit of like demonstrations against the Assad regime, and then like it was peaceful. Everybody was like asking for a better life, like they had certain, demands or requests. But then they started like to get into these crowds with weapons, and then it started to be, so we saw it coming. We saw it coming gradually. We didn't see it like, and it's not like we woke up and we had like we saw it gradually, but we didn't think it would reach that level. Like
it's just like the way I'm seeing it for the Ukraine. It started slowly. It's not like they slept and they woke up at
no, because they need a reason to bomb you. They need a reason. They need to put some fire first, and then they can like make it big. But if they can't start without any reason, like bombing a country, they need to start somewhere. So they plant seeds, and these seeds start accumulating. That's how it is. But of course, in the beginning, we were all so scared. We stayed home. We didn't go out. We were like. But then 1 month, 2 months, you sleep, you hearing the shelling, and you're sleeping. Like sometimes
and you were telling me you guys were staying even in the fourth floor, and you were not scared of.
We were, but I mean, what can you do? Like you have to continue living somehow. You have to survive, and it was kind of a. How can I say? Kind of like a fighting back to keep yourself alive, to keep yourself like going. It's kind of like an adaptation mechanism or something. But I remember a lot of the times I wake up in the morning, I check the news. Really? Here, in like 100 meter, it like a bomb has, or like a they had like a bombing a whole building, and I was just sleeping. I didn't even wake up. I didn't even feel it. Even our ears like started to get okay.
Used to it, like
okay with the noises, okay with the sounds, okay with the. You could be on the balcony having some coffee if the weather is nice, and you just see them like dropping like this on everybody, on buildings, on everything. Cars are on fire. So it was really, really tough, and of course nobody can, nobody can predict like how life was there, but to live there 6 years and see all this happening, I think it was really traumatizing, but at the same time, because we were all together, like all the friends, all the family, everyone like getting closer and closer and closer, and calling each other on daily basis, checking if we are still alive, if we need anything, if we have water, if we have food. It was kind of also like connecting us in a weird way as people.
Yes.
It was really connecting us in a really stronger like aspect. So I don't know. I kind of feel sometimes I'm grateful to that time, because like
it's just like the way people are saying like Corona did. Yes, it was bad, but at least Corona made people like now to be close so much. Like,
realize
yes,
also
realize,
what life
yes,
is,
life is,
and the value of life. I think that's what happened, and then after that we started laughing about everything. Like, you know, it like they bombed that area. Yeah, it's okay. We go from the other side. But we can't cross this road. It's okay. We take the bikes. You can't drive there. It's okay. We walk. You know, like nothing mattered anymore. Like wherever you hear, nothing mattered. Even the death of people, you got used to it. Like the first, I think the first months we were like just crying every day. The second month a bit less. After 1 year, 2 years, we rest in peace. Maybe it's better. Maybe he's in a better place or she's in a better place. Maybe it's enough seeing all this. You know, like you start seeing things from a different perspective.
You get immune to these things, like they're not even disturbing you anymore.
Especially that you don't have a choice. Like you don't have a choice.
Yes.
You can't leave. You are forced to stay. You are forced to make a living. You are forced to go to work. You are forced to continue studying. You don't want to stop your life. However, of course, universities, schools, they were shut down. They were just shelters for everybody, like who are coming from different or lost their homes, or hospitals even. They created hospitals in some schools and to help like injuries and stuff. So you feel like you had to do it and you don't have another choice. Your only choice is either to die or to live. Like that's the only thing you could do. So dying is not in your hands. Like if it happens, it happens, but living is your choice. So this is how like you have to do it.
You reach a point like where somebody sits down and you say like, if it's dying, it's okay. If I'm living, it's okay.
No, nobody cared at that time, because of course like we were also depressed in a way. Like we were also angry, depressed, feeling that we are just numbers in this world. Nobody cared about us. Nobody helped us. Nobody is trying to rescue us. They all shut their doors in our faces. We are now portrayed in the other to the whole world that we are terrorists. We are like bombing and we are killing each other and we are, I don't know, beheading each you know, like all these like crazy things that actually none of this has actually happened.
Even sometimes when you are looking at it and say, you are looking at it and you are saying, is this my country? No. Yeah. I was there. I know nothing.
And it's funny, and every time we see the news, they say, they show somebody like killing some another person or like beheading some another person, and they are not speaking Arabic even, but they say this is like the Syrians. They are doing this. The Syrians doing this. When what we know, what they are not speaking even.
But you can't even say, because you don't have a place even to go and talk.
Nobody can hear you.
Bad things are the ones that sell. You can never come and say the truth and people say, oh, this is the truth. No.
Exactly.
If you say a lie and it goes like that, that is what sells.
Exactly. And I mean, I can't, how can I say, I can't blame the Western community, because they don't know.
Yes.
And when they see, of course, if I was an outsider and I see such violent videos, of course I will be against it. Of course I will be like taking like a stereotype about that nation. But the media played a big role of continuing our crisis, like continuing the war for very long, as it's happening now with Gaza, as it's happening now with Lebanon. The history is repeating itself, you know, and that's really annoying.
Oh my God. So let me ask you now, and then the other thing is, that time when all this war is starting and everything, did you guys, like, you have passports or people who came out from Syria? Are you telling me are they rich people, or even there are people, because that is the thing that sometimes I always try to think, like, if a war starts like that, like in Syria, who are these people who come out like the way like I'm seeing you in Finland? How is the process? What do they do? And
there are so many layers to that, because our society is not like, we have layers. We have poor, middle class, rich, filthy rich, like we have all these type of different. So of course, who has the money, they might have already other passports, like they might have other nationalities even, or they have maybe businesses abroad that they can go to. So of course the majority, who fled the country the first, they were the people with money, the people who had the choice, or maybe the people who were smart enough to see that the worst is coming. The worst is coming, So let me just act now before everything closed down.
Because there are people like that who feel like that.
There are people who can see, like, maybe it's not gonna be, maybe I don't want to be in this situation. Let me just try to go away or run away as fast as I can. So some of them are like that. A lot of the middle class flee illegally. A lot of them, because we have only the Syrian passport. And the Syrian passport, wherever you present it, rejected. It's like you don't even have to apply, you know, like don't even try.
It's just like our passport, so
yeah,
okay.
And they closed all the embassies also, like all the embassies, all foreigners, all people who are like from other countries. Of course, their governments, they have taken them out anyway. So you don't have embassies also to apply for visas. And when you apply for a visa in Lebanon, in Jordan, some people, they had like the means to go to Lebanon or to Jordan and apply for a tourist visa or like even a humanitarian visa or anything. They don't get granted. Like the visa they don't get it. But when you go illegally, they accept you. That was like something the Europe was. I felt like Europe and like the whole world was doing it in the wrong way, because when people apply, you can have a background check.
Yes, I have a background check. Yes,
you can check what they have, what properties, where they come from, everything. But when you accept a person who came illegally to your lands, no papers, no documents, no money, no education, nothing. But you are accepting them in your society, of course, on the basis of humanitarian aid, and that's perfect. But I mean, why did you have to let them risk their life on the way?
On the way, yeah.
I don't know how many millions have died and drowned in the sea. I can't even count. To reach the safe places. But
and it's just a small thing, they could have just follow up. Like if somebody comes and apply, just check.
Yeah, and I mean, help them,
so
help
much,
the people leave, even not for a long time. Give them temporary stay, but just until they are safe, they are alive. But that's the thing that I felt it was really unfair and made us feel super unvalued as human beings. Like everybody, just like they closed it in your face. That's it. Like you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere. And they all know that we are dying inside, but it's okay. And now it's the same happening again, and it's heartbreaking to see it happening again and again.
It's like people are not learning from...
Yes, they are not learning from what's happening, or they don't really care, or they don't have the power.
Or it's money. You know, all these things
are
are
politics,
always...
but
politics,
after all,
yes,
money
after
and
all,
politics, of course. Like, we can't, and I'm not saying that... in Syria, not horrible things have happened. No, there are horrible things that happen.
Every country, there are horrible things that has happened.
War. When you say a war, there are no rules. Everything is okay with war, because everybody has the right to defend themselves.
Yes,
the locals, the
even those ISIS, they have a right to defend themselves.
Exactly, and they have like their own ideology.
Yes.
They have even like. That's why most of the Christians have tried like their best to run away or flee the country, because we heard a lot that even on the borders, on the checkpoints, when you go like up north, if they see your ID and it says that you are Christian, you are beheaded immediately, because they.
So how so in Syria now? Is the names are the ones that makes you guys like you can know this is a Christian?
No.
How will they know like you're a Christian, like you're not a Muslim like you?
Yeah.
How will they know?
It says on the ID.
It says like.
Yeah, it says what your religion on your Syrian ID. Yeah. It says so when they, for example, if
I've never seen an ID like that. Like it's.
Yeah, we have it.
Oh,
so when you are traveling from one from one province to another, or one city to another, you are on the road. There are checkpoints. Can be from the government, which is you're safe.
Yes.
Like if you reach that, you're safe. You just pass. And there are the other ones, the ISIS, the extremist Muslims, or like the ones who are doing all this chaotic like things. So when they open the doors and they start checking the IDs, everybody who's like
why did they put like that? Why do they put religion like in?
But that's how they wanted. They fired the whole thing. That's the seed they planted. They planted the seeds like that. They played on the religion, because this is the weakest point, like in our societies. We are so blind by our religion, and we follow like our leaders so much when it comes to this type of religion. So and we have a lot of Muslims, but not all of them are extreme. Like all of them are moderate, but there is this like 2-3%, I don't know, that they want to, you know, go back to the Stone Age and everybody's covered and like the woman shouldn't drive, the woman shouldn't work, the woman should just make kids and cook. You know, they want, because this is what they believe their religion is in a weird way. And then they start fueling them, you know, like the brainwashing them, fueling them, giving money also. Like they were taking dollars and dollars and dollars, putting in this ideology to make it even flourish, you know. So this is the seed they planted. It started as a civil war. It started between us.
In between.
It started between us, but then it was all planned for long, long years. All the tunnels, like we discovered for ISIS, they had like a lot of time to build it, you know.
It's true.
A lot of time to build it. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
So of course there is corruption. There are people who have helped with this. They are like traitors to the country. I'm not saying that all Syrians are saints. No, of course, but I'm just talking about those people who don't have any benefit from the war. Local, normal civilians, they don't benefit at all from all the politics, all the money coming in, out the country. You know, those are the ones who die. Those are the ones who die. People in power, they don't. That's the problem with wars. People in power and with money, they don't get hurt. They are super protected. The ones who actually die, who have no means of surviving, no means of protecting themselves. And that's the sad part of all of it.
So for you, how now, when you are there, how did you come to learn about Finland then?
Because my brother was here. Because my brother is married to a Finn. He left the country. He studied in Syria architecture.
Yes.
And then he did his master degrees in Liechtenstein.
Yes.
And from there he met his now wife, and he moved to Finland. So my brother has been outside the country for like really long years before I left. And he's so stable here. I think, and he helped me, of course, like he's the one who helped me come here, because I didn't come here as a refugee. I came with a work permit immediately. So he helped me find the job, and he went through all the process to allow me to come here legally. Because at some point in my life, I also wanted to go by the sea. Like,
you see that?
Yes.
Tell me what happened. What happened? Why did you feel like that?
I got fed up. Like I got fed up of not you know. You see, like your years are passing, your productive years are passing, and you are just like, you know, doing nothing. You're not earning money. You're not working. You're not, and you are on the edge of dying for so many times.
So many times.
So you feel like. And all my friends left also. Like most of my friends, my closest circle, have left the countries, especially the guys, because they wanted not to be serving in the military. So they want to also run away from serving the military. So I had no friends anymore at some point, and some of them have already died, also drowning or killed or whatever.
Which sea is that you guys try to pass? The one that people are drowning? Mediterranean?
From Turkey. It's the Mediterranean.
Oh, Mediterranean.
Yeah,
okay.
from Turkey. They went to Cyprus or to like some other city, and from there, I don't know, they go. I don't know the route, even I don't know.
So for you, it reached a point like you said, like you wanted to do that. You were on the way.
One of my friends came and said, "Why don't we go together?" And I was like, let's do it. Like I was so desperate. We were all so desperate. And I've seen some of them that already reached safe and everything. So I started to, maybe not. It depends on your luck, basically. Like if you're lucky, you reach.
And it's too much. Again, you have to pay.
No, it's not for free. Of course, you have to pay for people who smuggle you somehow. But it's dangerous because they put like a lot of people on a rubber boat, and sometimes if they see the police, they themselves they just open, like they make a hole in it and let people, because if they see the police, they are the one responsible. So they make people drown because otherwise they go to jail. But they escape and they leave people drowning, and the police will be how can I, distracted by what's happening in the water, you know. So but I was to that level desperate. Like we were all like this, all youth people. So one of them came and said, I want to go to Germany, I want to reach Germany, and I know somebody that can take me from Syria to Turkey borders, and from Turkey to I don't know where, and then we go by land, and then we go by sea, and then we go again, and then I said, yeah, okay, but I don't have the money. Like I don't have the money. It's like a lot. He said, I can help you. Like I can try to find, like for both me and you, I can collect money, and we can return it later for our. I said, okay, but then when I came and told my parents,
No.
I am fucking crazy. Don't you see what's happening?
Yeah.
Of course, and I'm an only child there. Like my brother is here, and I'm the only one left there. Of course, it was. And I'm also a girl,
Yeah,
like,
girl,
you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
that I don't have the physical strength
Yes,
also
yeah.
to, like, defend myself in that situation. So, yeah, it was like a hell no. And of course, it was just a matter of few days I thought about it, but I was scared myself, like, because I didn't want to go through, like that.
And I think you are a bit scared because if you decided to tell your parents, I think in your head, back in your head, you wanted them to say no. I feel like that.
Definitely.
Because if you wanted to go without, you could have not told them.
I would just have gone.
Yeah, you could have
I'm going to see my friends, but I'm not coming back. Yeah, I guess it was just a reaction. I was just angry, maybe depressed, sad, and it was just a reaction. My friend went, like...
Did he manage?
Yeah,
Did
he managed. He
Oh
managed.
my
He's
God.
now in Germany. But I mean, it wasn't so easy. He said, thank God you were not with me, because I would feel so guilty. Like he was captured, I don't know how many times, by the police, also tortured, also like... Yeah.
So he was saying like he's better.
He said, like,
yeah.
I'm really happy you didn't listen to me, but he reached safely. But I mean, I think that was the moment where my brother started to feel I need to do something, because if now she changed her mind,
Yes.
maybe at some point she will do it.
Yes.
Maybe at some point she will do it.
So he called you and he said like, okay, do you want to come, or you're the one who told your
No,
brother?
actually, he didn't call me at all. He visited us one Christmas in 2016, I guess.
Yes.
He visited us because now, as I told you, in 2016 the danger started to be really low, and still you could still come to Syria, not to the airport, but we always travel to Beirut, to Lebanon airport, and we take a cab.
Okay, yes.
So he visited us, and actually it was Christmas time, so he bought gifts to all of us, and my gift was an envelope, and that envelope was my residency application.
Wow.
Yeah, so he started like already the process without telling me much about it, but he started with the company that he was working with to provide me a job and So yeah, he brought me like a...
That's so sweet, that's so nice.
It was like a lot of papers that I didn't understand anything from, but he explained like, okay, now I'm giving you this. It's up. Of course, you still have to apply. Like we still have to go online and apply together, and you still have. It's a long process, but if you would like, we can start like this together. And I already like talked to the company that they will help you like having the job and the position, and hopefully you will go through. Yeah, and then this is where it started.
Wow.
Yeah, and it took
how
1
long?
year.
How long did it? 1 year.
1 year. It took 1 year.
Were you frustrated when you were applying it? Like
that it took too long?
Too long.
I didn't have any hope, to be completely honest. Like I went through it because I felt that he put a lot of effort. You know, a lot of effort for it. And I said, okay, why not? I can apply. It's just I'm staying here. It's online. All I have to do is wait and provide some documents.
1 full year.
It took 1 year. And I really had zero hope, because I started to look. Actually, I found a very good job in that time. I found a job at the UN.
Yes, okay.
And you know, that's the dream job in Syria. Because you get paid in dollars, but you spend in Syrian pound. And with the crisis, the exchange rate has gone so big. So you are a millionaire. You know? You are a millionaire from one salary. So I had that opportunity. It was supposed to be for 3 months. I was replacing somebody pregnant, went on a on a maternity
Motherly,
leave,
yes,
yeah. So I was just replacing her, and I said, okay, I'm just staying here. Like, why not? I can take the experience. You know, it's the UN. Everybody
Yes,
dreams about it.
yes.
So I worked there, and to my luck, she decided to quit after like the 3 months. So I got extended.
You got extended.
So I worked actually 11 months at the UN. So the moment I applied, I got the job the next week.
What?
Yes. I applied today. Next week, I got the job at the UN. It's
See
like,
how everything goes like nice sometimes. Everything
yeah, and then
goes-
I said, okay, then this is my path. Like, God has given me the dream job that everybody is dreaming about here in Syria without even applying. Like, I didn't even apply for the
Yes,
job. It's just one friend told me, like, yeah, I know you worked in the HR before. Would you like to replace one person for 3 months?
Okay.
Of course. I'm like, I'm waiting for an opportunity. So I was like, yeah, maybe that's what I will get rejected. Like, my residency will not go through, and I will have this. I will have this job. This is exactly what how I saw the situation.
So tell me, the day now you got the results now, like you are coming.
Yes,
like you got the,
I had
were you?
mixed feelings. Very mixed feelings.
Confused now. You didn't know like if you can come.
Yeah,
or not.
I didn't know if I should go or I should come here or not, because I wanted to leave when it was dangerous. But now when I got it, it was
like coming to normal now.
Yeah, I mean, like, nothing is dangerous anymore. I have a great job. It was the first time in my life that I feel that I am with money. Like, I can actually provide with my family. I can help my family. I can wear what I want. You know, like, I felt like I jumped to another level. I've never been in that situation. I always was like calculating, maybe this can wait for 2 months. I can't buy it now. I can't do this now. So it was the first time that I felt like, okay, now life is better. So I was super confused. Like, I wasn't happy. I would remember I wasn't happy because my brother told me on the phone, but I got the email.
He was so happy when he was telling you and everything.
Yeah. I got he called me, and I was like, oh, really? Yeah. And then when I closed the line, I was like, did I really want to go now? Like, what shall I do now? How shall I think about it? You know, like.
And I can understand what you are going through.
Yeah,
that time,
because I felt like I'm good now. Like, I'm good here now. Why to like change everything again? And I was, I was 31. I'm already like fully shaped, fully like grown. I was scared also of this adaptation to a new culture, new life. It was relieving that I have a brother here who will help me as much as he can. But yeah, I was like really
skeptical, like maybe,
Yeah, I really didn't know. And shall I leave my parents alone? They are only two, like two of them, they don't have anybody to help, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it was confusing. I wasn't super happy, but I wasn't also, I don't know. It was mixed feelings.
I think you had that mixed feeling because at least finally you already got a job that you say it was your dream job, like people, not your dream job, but people dreamt to have a job like that one in Syria. And now all of a sudden, boom, they're telling you to go. Then you're imagining you're going to start again.
Still dreaming about it, not only. And I was 1 month away of being fixed employee. That's also another thing.
Yeah,
like, I was always on
complicated,
temporary, extending 1 month, 2 months temporarily. But after that month, if I stayed actually till December, and I would have got the permanent job. And that was like really, really a dream that every Syrian, they wanted to get that opportunity. So I felt like I am really in a good situation, not sure if I should risk it or not.
How long did it take you to now make a decision? Okay, I'll leave this.
I don't really remember, but I talked to my family so many times. My dad was against it. My mom was like half. Like, she was scared that things will go bad again in Syria, so she wants me like to be on the safer side. Dad really didn't want me to travel at all because he's more emotionally attached to us, like both of them. But Dad is more like, he feels that he lost a child of my brother being away, so he doesn't want to lose the second one. So he was not saying no, but he was not pushing me. Mom was trying to drag me here more, but also she said it's your they kept the decision for me, you know. But when I decided actually to accept, because I found a middle ground, I talked to my boss at the UN. At that time, you know, a lot of male colleagues, they used to take unpaid leave for 3 or 6 months, and they leave Syria hoping that they find a better life. If they find a better life, they resign. But if they don't find a better life, they come back to their jobs, you know? So they are kind of securing their position.
Yes.
Because it's not easy to be a UN employee, you know?
Yes.
So I thought I could do the same. So I told my boss, is it possible to have like a 3 months unpaid leave? I would like to try like visiting my brother and see how things go. And I will be back if I feel like I don't find myself, I will be back. So I applied for the unpaid leave, but they didn't reply to me. Like they didn't say yes and they didn't say no. But when I told my boss, like my flight is in 2-3 days, like I already booked everything based on your words that I will get like the unpaid leave. So I planned all my trip. He said, no, don't worry, just go. It will get, now they are so busy, like we are fewer people in the office. No worries, it will get accepted. So I traveled here on that. And then when I reached here after like 3-4 days, it got rejected and I had to go back in a week to work. I already paid a lot of money to come here. My brother has paid a lot of money to help me come here. And in 1 week, I have to come back.
What?
So I kind of was forced to stay here.
Okay, so you didn't even go back now.
Because I think myself, if I had the chance to stay 3 months, I would have gone back. I would have gone back.
It's true. Yeah.
But because I didn't have that, then I'm actually left with one good option. To stay here, because coming back there, then I'm jobless. Going back, or if I have to go back, I could have gone back actually to my job, but the thing is I didn't have time to, it's only 1 week that I have to be there, and I didn't explore this option enough.
Yes, you haven't explored it.
And I felt like, what if I regret it as well? I stepped my foot in Europe and then I didn't really have time to see if I belong or I don't belong, I want it or I don't want it. Plus the pressure of the money that has been put on this whole process for a whole year.
Yeah, it's true.
So
you were in a dilemma that way. Even me, I think even I can't even. This other side, your brother has used so much money. You already paid for the ticket, and then this other place they're telling you if you don't come back again, you're not going to get the job. Hi.
And you know, like also me, I spent a lot of money preparing myself to come here, because I came here to a position with the architecture company, which I had no knowledge about. So I took a lot of courses back home to like educate myself to come here and help them out in the position they want me to help in. So I also paid a lot of money back home preparing myself to come to this point, you know. So yeah, it was really hard. Like. You know, like I felt that I didn't have a choice.
You didn't have a choice,
there, and I didn't have a choice here.
So you just decided. What time of the year was it? Was it already winter here?
Yeah, it was January. I came here 3rd of January.